And we're back to another episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2 Second Ignition. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and it's that time for Secret! Ooh, because who doesn't like those? Alright, we're going to start with this place we uncovered as we were looking all over the world for random items and stuff spread amongst the realms, as one would say. And this is the Crimson Castle, and we've had references to who this character is. You know, it says I try to keep quiet to it, but there's something really cool here. And you're gonna want her. Sorry. My bad. No, was I going the right way? Whatever. Okay, this whole dungeon is not much of a dungeon. There's no boss fight. It's much like the summons dungeons. There's never any bosses here. But we definitely come up here to get this. And is it within reach of Puka? I think it just is. So there you go. Save yourself the trouble. Alright, let's get her done. Alright. Not much for me to say here. I mean, a lot of what's here is just item grabbing first and foremost. So, and a lot of them are war respites, which are awesome. And oh, there's two doors. Oh, damn it, you know what? I shouldn't have dropped down. Hold on. I gotta go back. I screwed up. Now, there's also an enemy you need to be wary of. It's this thing called, I think, the Red Barney. And it does not love you, nor does it love me. It loves your Gela. And it has an ability of, like, taking, like, a tenth of it. Yeah, so, if you run into one, you want to take them down as quickly as you can. I think we just found one, too. There's the Red Barney right there. So just really just go right after him. Ice Beam. I don't give two shits about the Vermilion. I want my Gela to be stolen, which is also why we spent all of it earlier. You know what? Let's get Wilka out putting cannon. I don't really see us using her magic that much, and really we've not been using cannon near at all. And I really feel bad about that because we really should be getting her built up a little bit. Or at least enough that she can learn, like, another ability, which is based on her using abilities, which in turn means you gotta actually use her, for crying out loud. That Red Barney didn't last for long, neither did this guy. Oh, shit. Sorry, cannon, you're just not meant to be that cannon, are you? Dun-dun-ch. Okay, it's gonna end up having to be something where we grind her, you know, in a certain area and just build her up that way. Can't believe I gotta go all the way around because I screwed that up. Oh, invasion of the body snatchers. Damn. Better than nothing. Not that it's gonna help her learn anything, but eh. We'll get her caught up. I'm sure I will. It's not. It's just a matter of putting her in the battle party more often, involving her in boss fights over Lilka. If I know Tim can keep the healing up, and because of just me having to say that, it kind of implies what I need to do a little bit. So. The reason we came all the way back was for these. No! Really? Really? What a fucking asshole. Alright. Two more war respites. And you know what? If they weren't anything else that were not gear or... You know, war respites are actually pretty good, so it's worth it. Just saying. Alright. Now that we've done that... go ahead and go through this door. And doo-doo-doo, can really only go that way. And go here. Oh, fuck. Okay, so, yeah. We need to flip you. Yay! And let's go ahead and go back the way we came. Trying to think of how this place is laid out, which kind of sucks because this is it is complicated. So you got to put a lot of thought and trust into what you're doing here. Let's go this way. And oh god damn it, more doors. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, it's one of those little things where you gotta do this bullshit. No, you know what? We need to go this way first, I believe. Yeah. Save point. Do I need to save? You know what? No, I don't. There's no boss here. There's no point. Nothing really here that I think would one-shot me, so I'm not too hyper concerned. Do. Fuck it. I'll just go this way. This has to be the lever because it's the same place the other one was. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to be somewhat logical about how I do this. Like, it has to be that. It can't be anything else, right? So we did that. Do. Yoink. And there we go. So that's all done. Woo! Yay. Go team go. Oh man. Alright. It's not that this dungeon's really hard. It's just... Yeah, okay. We gotta go all... It's not that this dungeon's hard. It's that you have to go back the way you came a lot. You have to know... Oops, I took the wrong one. You have to know how you got to where you were. Because there's no, like... I know there's, I'm sure, like a given layout for this place. That if you were to draw it out, it would kind of make sense. But it's in very non-linear kind of dungeon. You don't just run around and do things a certain way. I mean, I guess you could say it is slightly linear in a way because I'm backtracking through the way I came. So I can get to that big hallway. But, you know, that's a kind of a stretch. Alright, Tim, turn undead. May as well try to get her up a little bit if I can. Definitely let Tim take one out, because remember, Tim's still building up his summon, and he's going to need to very soon, because we're going to get some new ones in this episode, I promise. Ooh, farted. This is glorious. And we'll use Wire Fist. Get some! Nice. That's really all it just takes, is doing that once in a while. Add Gatling to it if you really want to. That is necessary, but some people have said that it helps you learn it faster. I've not really noticed all that much, but just in case. And away we go. Yeah. We're almost out of here. Almost out of here being the key word. Alright, Barney. I love you. You love me. Is that really a nice beam coming at my... Never mind. Alright. So, we'll kill him, hopefully. Fingers, toes, and ass cheeks crossed. And I'm practicing in case I end up in prison for some reason. Whew. Alright. All done. Let's keep going. Okay. Just keep going. Alright, whoops. And this is what we came here for. We went through all that bullshit, all that douchebaggery, for this. Everybody's favorite character. We know you. Oh, man. And yes, this is Marivel who wore that mask earlier and wore, like, the stuff to protect her face. You know, the body and all of that. But because the sky's messed up, you could make the argument that not enough sunlight's coming through to hurt her, maybe. You know. Is the idea that Crimson Gnome was living in Falgaia any weirder? Mm-hmm. The Quaper Belt. And she knows. To save Falgaia, will you join us? First Odessa, then Quaper Belt. Why much such evil attack our beloved Falgaia? As Falgaia's true rulers, we will tolerate no more of this outrage. Rage! That's because it is my duty as supreme species to protect Falgaia. Simply have a common objective, otherwise a proud Crimson Noble would never help you lowly humans. Oh god. So, we pretty much get this game's version of a Blue Mage, and ironically, where a lot of Final Fantasy games fail at Blue Mage, you know, scripting and stuff, Marivel's actually pretty decent, as far as what she can do. The catch is you gotta do a lot of back traveling and shit like that. I will dedicate like an episode to doing that, but there's no point in doing it now because we've not unlocked all the dungeons yet. You know? If you really need to give her a few skills or, God forbid, something to shut her up, you could, but you're not going to find yourself using her all that much right away just with those terms. She's got no skills. She's got nothing, I think, except for the ability used to learn skills from other enemies. So, here's Marivel here. She, like I said, she's got Life Drain and Skill Drain. Skill Drain's what you need to learn that, and Life Drain's kind of what she comes with by default. That's all that she has. She also has this, which, these are like summons. She can't use Combine like the other characters can. So that's kind of, some people look at that as a turnoff, but, you know, I don't use my mediums for shit anyway, so... Anyway, what we need to do, and we need to go over this way, and what we're doing is we're actually coming back in here because there's something important to get. And it's what allows her to use another one of her abilities. Not that that's important or anything right at this moment, but it is something you kind of want her to do. Since she doesn't have any skills, she can at least go into battle and blast those things away. And whatnot. And like I said, we'll build her up and all that other stuff later. She also doesn't have any PSS skills, but she's a mage character. You don't use her for her melee, for the most part at all. So treat her as if she's, you know, literally what I just said, and you'll do fine with her, for what it's worth. Gatling level 1. Okay, Gatling level 2. So yeah, it's really very simple. She's not hard to deal with. You just need to do it. Do. And the battle is won. Sorry, not much to say really about that. as we get out of here. Yes, okay. So we need Marivel, and on the wall, what are these walls? We should see, there it is. There's a little lightning bolt on that wall, on the wall, and when you do this, this is what you get in return. I just needed a Zelda sound in there just to make it a little bit more cool, I guess. I don't know. And we're gonna pick up another ability. And we acquire the Force of Asgard. It's a modified Type 3 heavy armor attack golem that you can summon to crush your enemies at 50 FP. So, yay. Don't even think I'm going to use Quibbly. You really think I'm going to use Asgard? But yeah, you need to do both of these at the same time. So now that we've, in a sense, dicked around with that, we'll meet you back outside the dungeon and head to our next location. Okay, so we're back in Guild Galad, and like I said, we have a new character. She has 40 points to spend on herself. Again, she's all about magic, so obviously up magic attack and up physical defense first, and followed by HP up. And look at that, we're almost down to nothing left. And so we'll finish off magic defend. Don't bother with up physical attack, and then we'll go move her up to up parameters, and she'll be set. But that's really the setup we're looking for, because she's probably got, you know, Tim still has the worst, but no, Tim still has the worst HP of all, so Now the more important thing, which I might save for the end of this episode, because I'd rather just power through it, the things we need to do. So we'll save it, but all of those stat boosting items we've been holding on to, yeah, now that everybody's accounted for, we can look at stats at a little bit more even playground, see who we're going to use the most, see who would benefit from the best stuff, and you know, all that crap, you know, because now everybody's accounted for, which is the reason why you really want to hold on to a lot of that stuff. It really is, you know. So just saying. Alright, so now that we're in here, what you're going to want to do is, for Tim, you're going to want to put the gaze mirror on him. And if you don't know why, it's got to be obvious by now. There's obviously things that can petrify you. Okay, let's go ahead. This place is really not that difficult to figure out. I don't know why people dread it so much. Or maybe I'm just on drugs or something, and for me it doesn't bother me. You just have to walk through here. Don't run. Because if you run, you're going to get lost. And it's very easy to get lost and not know where you're going. Alright, there it is. And then we're looking for... And... there it is. It's not hard. I'm just saying. I've ever felt this particular sensation. Sacred ground dedicated to the Guardians. Well, you know what they say. There we go. I am the Guardian of Desire. If you want this power, give my name. And obviously, if you paid attention earlier in the game, you should know who this is. It is Lucide. So Lucide, and a glorious D to finish it off. And yes, it's case sensitive. What'd you think it was? Where is this? Where am I? My nipples. Where'd they go? I gotta stop talking about my nipples. I don't know what I don't know. Maybe because it's a little chilly in here tonight. My nipples are excited about it. Okay, enough with my nipples. My balls, on the other hand. Okay, I'll stop. Ooh! Shave Poochie Poochie. Shave Poochie Poochie. Why are you here? Here for the cheap cocktails. Anastasia asked me to. She wanted me to help you. Well, that's nice of her. Though we would have still had to find him, at least she sent him to help us. I only lend my powers to those who can make use of my powers. Do you understand my meaning? Yeah, sure, why not? What I need for my power, desire stronger than any other. I ask you, what is your desire? Naked chicks and lots of blow. And lots of blow. Lots of scotch. All those amazing things, man. Hookers, blow, scotch, money. That's all I want. Oh, come on. Hope is so hard to do. Your answer, the truth is I wanted to protect Marina's smiling face. With my cock. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ruining a touching moment, I'm sure. Can become good or evil depending on who you... We've heard this discussion before. Desire suited to become my flesh and blood. Flesh on my flesh, blood on my blood. Sorry. Daily life you desire. And so on and so forth. I will be with you until the day when your hope has been exhausted. Usually that's after I pass a big turd. Then that's when my hope is exhausted. Because I still don't believe it'll get flushed down the toilet. Attack Mad Lucide acquired. And this is... it's not really a summon. When you're playing as Night Blazer, it replaces Hot Fencer with this skill, which does more damage. So, yeah, same amount of FP, I believe. All that's the same, but it does more damage. So this isn't really... You're not getting a summon. You know, you're not getting anything, a new medium or anything like that. You're just getting this. Be happy. Be happy. It's better than a swift kick to the fucking nuts, okay? Alright, let's get out of here. And literally, it's backtracking out. There's also enemies in here, so if you're wondering why I'm not fighting anything, that's because they're, you know, this dungeon has this enemy called Black Sabbath, which is hilarious. It's just so funny to see it. And this is these flying little chicken fuckers are Black Sabbaths. Black Sabbaths. Black Sabbathi? Whatever. So yeah, so just kill them, you know, kill them like the rest. Because they can petrify you and make your life miserable. Really, they're more like cockatrices. I'm surprised they didn't go by that name. So let's go by Black Sabbath. Sorry, I can't sing rock music, like, you know, guitar riffs and stuff very well. Except for the SWAT Cats theme. Okay, enough of that. Sorry. I'm an asshole. Alright, and we're out of here. So now that we've done that, woo! We still got more kind of shit to do. Really, the last thing... There's two places we still need to kind of hit up while we're able to. One of them starts at T-Box, so we gotta go there first. And inside we go to T-Bone Village. Sorry, T-Box does not sound like a word of any sort to me. Alright, we need to go talk to Marivel, who is either in this house or in the main house. Right here. And you need to do it as Brad. Something good happened today, so I'm off to the good luck spot on the southeastern coast. And say thank you, the good thing that happened. You came here, that's what. Alright, so what we need to do before we go there, we need to find out who's got statistically the highest luck. And that person's going to end up being in the battle party. Good is best, and she's got best, but I'll settle for good. And what we need to do is put Fangalon on that person. I mean, you can have that. I don't care right now. Fangalon. And this will make sense in a moment, okay? And we'll take our Fly, buddy. And look at that. You can see the location just showed up on our map. And it's not hard to get to at all. For it is here. No reason to walk. The enemies around here aren't worth jack shit. And ta-da! Sweet. The good luck zone. Yes. And here's what you need to be aware of. There is these doors, okay? And you need a special key. So how do we get this key? You would... the first time I played through this game, it drove me fucking nuts. I could not figure it out. I was actually starting to get really pissed off by endgame because I had not found a single key that worked on these doors. And then I realized the answer is actually inside... there you go. It's inside the dungeon itself. So what you have to do is, with cannon, pickpocket each Golpa. And you can actually steal secret keys. And out. I don't even know if I really wasn't paying attention. Heal, block. And as soon as she steals one, we move on, we kill it, and then move on to the next one. And yes, we're going to need a lot of keys, if you were wondering. Okay, so we got the key from that one. We'll kill it with Rage. The Resonance Quake. Oh no. So anyway, I'm not going to show these battles, because it's very obvious what you have to do. Oh, I farted and it was amazing, man. I got to stop doing these really, really, really rich farts. They're starting to get, like, kind of nasty. Alright, we'll take out this one. Yoink! And there's another secret key. Woo! Taking you down! Bye! Alright, and for Tim's sake, heal, block, and we'll let you Gatling too on that bad boy. But I don't want to waste any more video time, because like I said, we still got another place we gotta go. So just saying. Sweet. Okay, all done, all done. Let's get it on. And we have that special key, which is secret key. Ta-da! Okay, and make sure you gotta open them all, because they all have little things. One of them being a crest, and the other two I think just have little items in them, like status effects thing, protection, and stuff like that. So just as a heads up, make sure that you do this. So where the hell are those keys? There they are. And crest. Now, who has the best luck? I want to say it was Loka. Yes, Loka's got the best luck. I don't think we need to do any battles right now. We also got the amulet, which is good. So, secret key. Oh, I guess you only needed one. Sorry. I for some reason I thought you needed one for every door. And there's a hat upgrade for Ashley, which is Texas number. For whatever reason. And look at that. That's actually pretty good. For, you know, it just shows that's the next hat you should get in the you know, realm of hats that need to be gotten. And secret key. Ta-da! Alright, 2 more doors. 2 more delicious, delicious doors that require opening. And yoink, we get the amulet. Sweet. Nope. And last but not least, Oops. It would help if I actually used the secret key. And now this last door, you cannot open... Oh, maybe it's this door. Never mind. One of these doors, and I think I skipped through the dialogue to that one. Okay. One of those doors will not open unless the character's luck is best. So you can't even get in unless that's marked as best, unless that character's set to best. Luckily, you could use Amulet and increase your luck by 2 levels, and you see how he's at best. Designa does it, I think, once. So it's, you know, as you can see. So that's kind of the principle of how that works. Okay, never mind. Here's the official freaking door. But because Lilka's luck is currently best, it doesn't matter. As you can see, here we go. And then we get Chapapanga. And you notice this medium's gold, which implies that it's one of the strongest ones. Don't worry about it. Just know that it's good. Alright. So we got that. And this grants Tim some new skills as well if he learns them. Now, these are probably going to take a long time to learn. The question is, are they worth learning? Yeah, 77 and 75. The Cosmic Ray is not one of his. Ups luck. These 2 skills are pretty pointless. I've never found myself using Lucky Word or Gold Hammer. So, I would save these as the very, very last thing you need to work Tim with. You know, whenever you have all the skills learned, just throw that on Tim so he's learning something. Because the stats that it actually gives, I believe, are pretty good. So, like, check it out. Yeah, so it's pretty beefy as far as how strong it'll make you. But I would not put it on Tim to learn stuff unless he had learned everything else that's available to him at that given moment. So that's just a heads up on that, you know. Alright, we're not out of the woods yet. So, we've got another dungeon to go. And what you need to know is we're not going to complete this whole thing. So, don't get your titties in a twist when we don't do all of it. Because we just can't. Okay, we just can't. Okay. We'll have to come back and finish this one later, but the perk is we can do some of this shit now. Which is why I want to do it. Now. So first things first, we need to head way the hell over here. And I want to say, it's like, you see this big dark area? This is where Ptolemaeus Tower was. So the place we're looking for is actually right here. Now, let's go ahead. Okay. So now that we're here, what you need to know is you need lots of duplicators. Okay? You can get them in the world map like we did before. There's lots of ways to go about getting them. I had a person send me a private message saying that you can find duplicators from monsters, but they're harder to get. So I wouldn't fool around too much with that if you don't have to. But in general, you need duplicators. You need lots of them. You need 6 of them, and look at that, we have exactly 6. We get the Crest E, which is useful for like healing magic and high res and stuff like that. Anything you subscribe to it will give you like will cost half the FP to cast. So we obviously put a healing power on there. The Talisman, which will be here, restores HP after each combat turn. It's not that useful. I mean, I know some people who like it, and I might end up putting it on someone anyway, just for shits and giggles, because there's really nothing better to put on them. But for right now, we're good. Another set of Elven Boots, not that we need them, but we have them. Alright, now, and we'll head over here. As we get more awkward stuff. Duplo, and we get the kid gloves, which I forget. Honestly, I forget what those do. And it sounds bad that I do, but we'll find out now. Item that ups physical defense. Yeah, okay, so that's all that it does. It's like an upgraded version of the mittens. And you can see how often I use that. Almost feels like a waste, doesn't it? We get the Elven Cloak, which has to do with another thing, and I'm not going to ruin what that is because we haven't gotten it yet. So it'll make more sense later, but right now it's mostly useless. And an Ambrosia. Yay! Now, with that said, there's one last item that we needed to get, but we are unable to. So, until we are able to get it, we can't get the final item, which is really what you came here for. Okay? And you go through this really cool optional boss. This is probably one of the easiest optional bosses in the game. But you won't be able to deal with it now. You know, there's not really that much to really... There's not much to say. There's not much to really do with that. Okay, anyway, what we'll do is let's go ahead and go to Palace Village, because that's where we're going to start our next episode. But we'll finish this episode up with where is it? There it is. With a couple of things, you know, with a couple of last few things I want to get done before we call it and move on. We need to redo Lilka's crests a bit, because we got some new ones, which shouldn't be too hard. Your best bet is to honestly put Lilka's, for now, is to actually use the E crest on her high heel. And the reason I really recommend doing this is because to cast it at half this required FP, you really want that. To cut it down to 27 so she can cast that right away, what it does is it removes the need for the level 1 heal, which we can now remove. Yeah, see, look at that. Great, isn't it? Okay, so now we've got 3 crests. I guarantee you I've got everything I want from the level 1 crest, so now we can start filling in the random crap we'll probably never use. Mage weapon, Aqua Freeze, you know, let's put heal back in there anyway. Why? Because if for any reason she has to use a major skill or something, she can. And yeah, we can use it for these things. I'm actually going to use the last one, honestly, for that skill, other skill I'll never use, which is, no, that's even more useless than that. Okay, no, we'll use it on the low level somethings. We'll just do them one at break first, I guess. There we go. And that's what's going to end up happening, is really Lilka's done with her magic. So all that's really worth a damn at this juncture for her is to just get the last few things she hasn't gotten yet. What the hell is that doing all the way up here? We'll put regular heal up there. Break. You know, we'll leave that shit at the bottom. It's not something we'll use. She's at almost level 40. 10 more levels, she'll be at 50. She'll be able to cast that shit almost instantaneously soon anyway. And like I said, I use her for boss fights mostly anyway. Okay, so that's all squared away and done. Woo! We still don't have very much money. We have 52k, which is enough money to do some things, but not in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so we'll hold on to our money. The last thing we need to do is look at our character stats and really get an idea of who's doing what. So first things first is to take off anything that would give you the wrong impression. In other words, up their stats or, you know, beyond their gear. You know, so take off, we can leave the Holy Grail on, we can leave the Weather Vane on and the Clone. Okay, we can leave all that stuff on. Also remove the Guardians. You need to know what everybody's baseline is to literally know what they're going to benefit from and what's going to get in the way. A lot of people waste those items and don't actually go through this effort here. Okay, so now we've got base ideas of what we need to figure out. So Vitality, Sorcery, Resistance, and Strength. Who gets what and why? Okay, well, I won't make this won't take very long, so don't stress out. This is not as bad as you think. What you need to know: who has the highest base sorcery. We're going to do sorcery first. So we've got Tim, who is 2 levels higher than everyone else at 371. Lilka is at 235. So she is significantly lower than Tim. Marivel is actually at 241, so she's not doing too hot either. And Tim doesn't have anything left on him by any chance? No, he doesn't. So Tim's overall magic, even though he's 2 levels higher, is pretty high. And really Marivel's only 1 level behind, but she might be under geared. So who do we give our sorcery apples to? I like to... Oh, I could have just done this here. I honestly like to say I like to give him to Tim still. His AoE healing is still not healing like the strongest attacks of our bosses yet. And here's how a good way to divide them up. Let's see how much one gives. It gives that. It gives that. You're not... Okay, so now that I've made this very clear and obvious, you're getting fucking shit, is what you're getting for your sorcery upgrade. So really, there. That's fine with me. For Lilka, we'll give her 2 because she's, you know, puts her closer to Marivel, I guess. It's just not much to say. They don't give you very much. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, Rez. You know, how fast their turn comes up. So I just wanted to double check and make sure I was reading that right. You kind of want Lilka and Tim to have the best res. Yeah, Brad could do it too, and definitely Brad could benefit. Well, see, Brad could benefit from it too. It's really Tim and Brad. Give 1 to Brad. Yeah, we'll give him 2. And then we'll give the rest to Tim. Anything to get that up. Alright, Vitality. What's so great about Vitality? Really, just give it to whoever's got the shittiest Vitality, and really whoever needs to have better HP growth and resistance. Which, again, is usually Tim. It's usually tough. It's usually between Tim and Lilka. And really, Lilka could be closer to Tim, so we'll just give it to Lilka. Because that'll put them at almost the same right now. Strength. This one's very difficult to sort out. Do you give it to Brad because Brad always relies on melee damage, or do you give it to Ashley? Well, Ashley doesn't really need it. He's got Dark, you know, he's got Night Blazer to rely upon. And honestly, Brad's got his arms. So if you're relying on Brad's melee attacks by end game, which some people do, depending on how you design Brad and all of them, it really needs to honestly go to Cannon. Because look at the strength difference between the 2 of them. The other thing you might want to also look at too is their equip. Again, attack is 276 over 423. So Cannon's got shitty ass attack. Now this is obviously not going to give much, but she deserves it more than anyone else. She's the one hurting the most. It just makes the most logical sense to me. Should everybody do this? No, you should really design this based on your experience with who you like to use. And since I do occasionally, or rarely, use Cannon, you know, I do find it necessary to make sure we build her up a little bit. And to me, that's the best way to design it from this point on, you know? Is to really do it this way. Don't dick around with it, don't make it more complex or convoluted than it needs to be. Just do this. It'll work. This is a good layout. This is a, you know, great way to go. We're going to get more of these apples throughout the game, but really we've already kind of decided who to pass them on to. And really it's because it's easy to figure out. Let's put Railgun and max that out, and then next time we get money we'll max out Bazooka. And then from there we'll max out Shot Weapon because that's kind of behind. Alright, so that concludes the work that needs to be done and everything. We're pretty much all set. So on the next episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2 Second Ignition, we start hitting up Ray Point Flam, or Flame, if, you know, you don't use goofy words like that for, you know, whatever. So we'll hit the Fire Temple. We'll see you there.